Today we're looking at the history of Halloween in America. Hello, welcome to the Daily Bellringer. Please don't forget to subscribe and take a look at the questions down in the description. Also, don't forget to check out dailybellringer.com where you'll find more resources that go with many of the Bellringer videos. Each year on October 31st, millions of children comb neighborhoods dressed in their scariest costumes, going door to door asking for candy. But how did this all start in America, and how has Halloween become a holiday that Americans spend an estimated $10 billion a year on? The origins of Halloween, of course, go back to the ancient Celts, who lived in what is today Ireland about 2,000 years ago. They celebrated a day known as Samhain at the end of October that marked the passing from summer into fall and winter. On this night, Celtics believed ghosts would return to the earth, and in order to confuse ghosts so not to be haunted, you would need to wear disguises or costumes. By 43 AD, the Romans had conquered the Celts, yet began to combine their holiday of Samhain with their own Roman holidays to mark the passing of the seasons. By 1000 AD, Christianity had spread into Ireland, and Samhain was replaced by All Saints' Day on November 2nd to remember the dead. The Middle English word for All Saints' Day was All Hallows Mass, so the nights before were called All Hallows Eve, which gradually transformed into Halloween. Although the holiday was being celebrated in Europe for hundreds of years before colonists came to America, it was slow to catch on in America as many colonists had strict religious beliefs, such as the Puritans, and did not recognize the holiday. Gradually, though, colonial communities began to have days to celebrate harvest and the changing of the seasons. But it wasn't really until the mid to late 1800s that Halloween really began to come into its own in America. The potato famine in the mid-1800s in Ireland that was caused by a fungus that destroyed potato crops for several years pushed many Irish to come to America. It's estimated that between 1845 to 1855, 1.5 million Irish immigrated or made the journey to America. They brought with them their ideas and culture that went into the great American melting pot, and among these traditions was Halloween. The Irish brought jack-o'-lanterns, which supposedly was based on the Irish legend of Stingy Jack, who in the story tricked the devil several times but was eventually left to wander the forest with only a hollowed-out gourd to use as a lantern. Thus we get the name jack-o'-lantern. Trick-or-treating has several historic origins tracing back to England. One tradition, called souling, involved children going from house to house and offering prayers for the souls of the household's relatives that had passed away. In return, the children would get small cakes called soul cakes. In 1605, Guy Fawkes had led an unsuccessful attempt to assassinate King James I and install a new king in England. The gunpowder plot was foiled, and Englishmen began to celebrate Guy Fawkes Day to commemorate the survival of the king. Guy Fawkes Day, which still is celebrated to some extent, takes place on November 5th, so it occurs relatively close to Halloween. As part of the celebration, children would wear Guy Fawkes masks and parade around town asking for coins or treats. These traditions were brought to America in the mid to late 1800s and continued until the Great Depression hit in the 1930s. People simply did not have the resources to be able to hand out candy or treats, so many children began to turn to mischief instead, which then turned into vandalism and even assaulting people. In the 1920s, newspapers began to publish headlines that read, "Treats, not tricks," to try to discourage bad behavior. And then in an effort to stop this unruly behavior, many communities began to officially organize and regulate trick-or-treating. During World War II in the 1940s, sugar rationing halted trick-or-treating throughout the United States, but after the war was over, trick-or-treating returned with even more enthusiasm by Americans. The holiday continued to grow and grow as businesses realized the great opportunity in marketing for the holiday. Today, it's estimated that Americans spend close to $3 billion a year on Halloween candy alone, and an additional $7 billion on costumes and Halloween decorations. This Halloween, whether you are dressing up or not, or going door to door, or watching a scary movie with friends, remember to have fun and don't forget the long history of the holiday. So with that, hopefully you learned something, and happy Halloween.